Hello. I'm early as usual, just to have some chit chat before we start over here. So I want to talk about today, and I'm not starting yet, but I'm just making sure that everything works well. Tech stuff. Anything can go wrong. So I want to talk to you today. Pretty much it's about how to grow your business and also grow your wealth at the same time. So I will hang out for another 2 minutes, have some fun. And also, if you have any questions that you want me to answer specifically, you're welcome to go ahead and pop it in the comments. But if you want privacy, you are welcome to also PM me, because I have my little gadget tablet here I can see, and then I will make sure that I keep your privacy, because your privacy is very, very important to me. So if you don't want to share your question publicly, feel free to send me a PM, all right? And or you can email me. That will take you longer, because I've silenced pretty much every phone. So just go ahead and send me a Facebook message, and then it will pop up on here, and I'll be able to answer. If I don't get to you, I'll definitely will get to you later. So one more minute. Tick tock, tick tock. It's gonna find. So far, everything is working so well. So hold our fingers crossed. So I hope you're having a good weather. We're having a sunny day in Chicago. So it's fun, fun, fun. All right, 12 o'clock. Ready or not, here I come. Okay. So what I want to tell people is that when you have a business, sometimes you are when in the beginning you'll be struggling with money, and so you probably may not be thinking about investing any excess cash that you have hanging out. So my suggestion to people is that you have to stay in your numbers. Because if you stay in your numbers, even on a weekly basis or sometimes even daily basis, you will know how much cash flow you have. And if you can maybe do a short-term investments, say you have maybe 10,000 that you're not going to need for the next maybe 30 days, you can put it into a short-term money market or something. Granted, it's not a whole lot of interest, but you get into the habit of doing investments, right? I'm not talking about stock market. I don't like the stock market because you have the risk of losing your principal. The key is do not lose your principal, whatever you do. So if say you have a coaching business, half the time you do have excess cash sitting out because you don't have a whole lot of deductions when it comes to taxes. So the other day I did something about real estate. Again, I'm coming back to that. Keep your numbers, like your eye on the numbers. So when you see that you have, say, 10,000, move it into a short-term investment, like a money market, get a little bit of interest, make it add up. And when it adds up, you can buy. The key thing is, if you can afford it, I say buy the building that you're in. If it's a small building, if you can buy it alone, talk to a few of your neighbors. If you guys like the building and you're comfortable, you'll be surprised that you'll be able to talk to the owner, because half the time they want to get rid of the building, or they are retiring and they are old and they don't want to deal with all the maintenance issues of the building. So a group of you can get together and then pull your excess cash and buy the building that your business is in. God forbid, even if your business go down, you still have a building that you can still draw rental income from. So I'm going to repeat myself. Buy the building that your business is in. That's one way to increase your wealth. All right. So having said that, Sometimes the building may be a huge building, like multi-hundred millions or whatever it is. It depends. But most of us, we rent from small, maybe like a 6 or 50 office building. Like these days with a shared space, you can have a very small, maybe 10, $12 million. As long as you guys can come up, or the group of you can come up with, I think, 25% of it, the bank will be willing to lend you the rest of the money. So that's the game of the real estate thing. If you can come up with a percentage of it and do some research on your own. Now, every market is different. I don't know all the rules of the real estate. I'm an accountant. I do taxes. So please consult a real estate agent. And I just want to plant the seed in all of you that you can own the building that your business is in if you really want to. You don't have to do it alone. Get a group of you, set up a partnership, but whatever you do not go in as a limited partner. Because if you do, the tax structure limits it. If there's losses, you don't get to deduct the losses when you're limited partner. You want to be an active partner. If the others want to be limited, that's up to them and their tax advisor, but I'm here to protect you. So don't ever go into any real estate deal as a limited partner, or for anything as that, for that matter. Even if you have 1 penny in it, I don't want you to go in as a limited partner because you get hurt on the tax front. All right. So own the building that your business is in. That's one way to increase your wealth. 2, save up your money. If you cannot afford to buy a big investment property, start with one condominium. I did a Facebook Live on this. Start with one condominium. So say a bachelor apartment near a university. And trust me, they get a lot of money. I just came from Ball State where my daughter is staying for 2 bedroom. Of course, there is cheaper. They get in $900, $450 for each child, each room. And then the Lyft driver who took me to Indianapolis Airport directly from Ball State, she was sharing with me how in Muncie, where the Ball State is, they charge the students more than they charge family. So she gave me an example. So for a 3 bedroom, they would charge about $800 for family. But if it's a student, all the all students, like my daughter, they're charging her $450 for one room. So 2 rooms, they're charging them $900. So you see how the math goes? If you buy your property near a university, you can make a boatload of money. It depends on the market. My other daughter is in Maryland, and there, I think they're paying like almost $1,000 per room because the real estate there is more. So I'm just gathering all this information, and I'm going, wait a minute. You've got money sitting there in your bank account. You're only waiting to pay taxes on them. Why not put them to work? Because if you have real estate investment, the tax table turns in your favor. Because I think, and I wasn't there when the tax system was designed, but studying the tax law, what I think they did was they did not want anybody to be homeless. So they set up the tax system so that people will invest in buildings and apartments so that people can get reasonable places to live. And so therefore, they incentivize people to do this type of investment. That's not to say that it's a bad thing, because those who wants to take advantage of it are taking advantage of it, but that does not make them bad people. Because when you start up in life and you can't afford to buy a house, you'll be grateful that you have a place to put your head, to sleep and not get rained on and not be homeless because you're just starting up in life. and you don't have any money. So you appreciate when you can rent an apartment to live in at a reasonable rate. So the tax system is designed to encourage you to do real estate investment. So that even if you lose money, which is sometimes because of the depreciation, it will show that you're losing money, but you're not losing on a cash flow front. Again, you need to talk to somebody on how to structure your activities. That's something I do for my clients. If you're interested in it, by all means, you can hit me up in the message and say you want to chat with me and find out. I do have a free 20-minute complimentary call, and we can see where I can serve you, because I also just launched something called deep dive accounting. It's really long. Deep dive accounting and tax consulting. That's a very extensive analysis of all your numbers, where I work with you for the next 90 days. And it's a totally private session, just you and I going into your numbers, finding out what are all these expenses for, what benefits is it getting you, how much return on investment are you getting on every dollar that you send out there, and what is the variable expenses that you can manipulate and make them not cost you as much. Can you shop around, get better pricing for your expenses? What items are fixed? So I go in detail really, really with you. And you don't have to go with me. You could go with somebody else, whoever you're working with. I want you to go deep dive into your numbers. All right. The only way you can make the best business decision is if you know your numbers. And you've heard Mr. Wonderful, and I'll repeat, know your numbers. He beats people up on Shark Tank if they don't know their numbers. And what he means by that is when you know your numbers, you can make smart business decisions. And you make smart business decisions, you will definitely grow your business by making the right decisions. And by that, you can also grow your wealth, meaning you can do investments, you can put money away for your retirement, set up health insurance for your family and your employees. They'll be happy. And so therefore they will serve your customers, give your customers better service. And by that, you get more customers, because they're going to go out there and say, oh, I went to this place, they treated me like a queen or a king, I'm going to go back there. And so they'll bring you more customers. So it all goes in circle. All right. So all because you paid attention to your numbers, you went deep dive into your numbers, you realize, okay, I have the cash flow to be able to provide health insurance for my my employees. And also, I was able to take care of my employees by giving them retirement account for their peace of mind. So they are serving my customers really, really well. So it all goes in circle. I'm not saying you should be, when I say know your numbers, I'm not saying you should be the bookkeeper, all right, or do your own taxes. I just want you to pay attention so you can have a regular check-in either with your CPA or your bookkeeper and take a look at the numbers. Even if you do nothing at all, I want you to take a look at the bank account and see how much money is in there. You'll be surprised. You might get interested and get addicted to numbers like I do. Not really. I'm not expecting you to do that, but I'm just saying that it will help you if you know your numbers. All right. So the other thing I want to talk about is that for those of you who are just starting up and you don't know what to do with the accountant, you don't know what to do with the taxes, you don't know who to talk to, it feels like a jungle out there. Again, I'm providing this platform to help you. If you need my help, I just decided to start an accounting. It's called DIY accounting and taxes classes online. It's going to be a 12-week program. So I'll talk more about it some other time, but just the gist of it is that it's 12 weeks. I will do a small group, lay 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week. I'm still collecting ideas on how often people want to deal with numbers. So right now I'm sitting on 1 hour a week for 12 weeks. And then I'll have open office hours where you can once a week, I'll have 1 hour, you can call me. You will have an unlimited email support. So if you are interested to learn how to do your own accounting, do your own taxes, that's something that you can stay in touch with me. And then when I launch the prices and everything, I think right now I'm sitting at $14.95 for the whole 12 weeks that I'll be working with you. So if you're just starting up, it's called DIY Accounting and Taxes. Then let's hang out and see. And then the deep dive also, I have it for 90 days, and that's a different pricing structure. Again, you can get in touch with me. So that's enough about my. So now I'm coming back to you on how you can grow your business. So most of you have CPAs working on your stuff. I'm asking you, how often do you hear from your CPA or your accountant? My suggestion is every other week will be perfect. Don't wait for monthly. Stay in touch with your accountant. I don't mind hearing from my people. Before you make any big decisions, talk with your accountant, brainstorm with them. If they are not open to do that, maybe it's time to find another accountant, because you cannot wait till once a year to march into your accountant's office with a box of receipts and say, here you go. There's no planning involved with that. So have a regular schedule meetings, maybe once a month. Talk to your accountant. If you're too busy, say every 6 weeks, talk to your accountant and then brainstorm ideas. So one, every decision that you make, you want to buy a car, you want to buy more computers, you want to do any decision you make, they should be able to help you. They should be able to consult with you, and they should not be charging you by the minute, because that's not fair. That's why they are there to help you. They're supposed to work as your controller, as your CFO. All right. Most small businesses can afford to hire myself as a full-time, because I don't want any full-time job, but I don't mind working for several of you. And so you can call me if you're thinking of something. You can brainstorm with me. You can text me. You can email me. I'm available for my clients, and I'm hoping that all the CPAs will do the same for you, because this is not you are specialized in your services that you offer to your customers or your clients. We shouldn't expect you to know what the tax rules is. If you want to use your car, what's the mileage? Should you do full expenses for car? Should you do mileage? Should you lease your car? Should you lease your equipment? And half the time we have I have it at the top of our head. So if you call me, and if I don't know though, I can look it up and say, let me look it up and get back to you. So I hope most people will do that for you. And if they don't, time to go shopping so we can chat. All right. So stay in touch with your accountant. So that's the other thing. All right. So the next thing is that oh, somebody has a question. Hi, Marika, how are you? Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to suggest is that as you stay in touch with your accountant, find out, especially if you're an LLC, how can I avoid having to come up with a lot of money come April 15? You need to do quarterly estimates. Most of you are LLC one person, or you are sole proprietor, haven't done the LLC yet, or you are S corporate. Even if you are S corporation, you still need to pay attention to the bottom line. All right, so I'll take each one of them one by one. Sole prop, partnership, S corp. Even the C corp, they also have to do estimates. So for sole proprietor and then the one person LLC, when you file your taxes, it comes you do your revenue, your expenses, and then you have the profit. For the profit, they tax you. Oh, somebody, what kind of money are we talking about to have an accountant or regular basis? Oh, okay. So it depends. I personally, I do my monthly billing. For most of my client, I charge them on a monthly basis. So depending on the number of transactions that you have, I base my price on it. I don't do by hour. And so, for example, here, when somebody has, let's say, about 30 to 50 transactions, I will charge, say, 450 or 250. It depends. But I try to do 450. But if you're a startup and I know you're struggling with money, I can work with you with the condition that when your business starts to grow, you will gradually increase my fee to match the services that I'm giving you. So I probably gave myself away here, but that's what I do, because in my opinion, I'm your CFO. And if you start with a startup, you're supposed to take a pay cut and then build it with them. So I'm building with you. So sometimes I'll do 250 depending on how much you're making. And then my minimum is usually 450 and up. So it depends on how much. And with the startups, my advice to you is I can teach you how to do it yourself so that you can save money. And so with that 1,495 course for 12 weeks, I'm going to teach you how to keep the books. I'm going to teach you how to understand accounting. So what I was saying is, it depends on Emma. It depends on how many transactions you have, and you can link up with me and we can discuss if you need any help from me. So I hope you can hear me. Let me know in the comments. Wonderful. Okay. So what I was saying was, it's important to do quarterly estimates. If you're sole proprietor, always do quarterly estimates. What it means is that when you keep up with your books, so say you keeping it up with Quickbooks, you can always print a report here. Hopefully you can see this. Let's see. Beautiful. So you can go in here and tell it to print a report for you. So you can go to the profit and loss. Okay, so this is the QuickBooks sample file that I use for my training. So right here, it will tell you how much profit you have. All right. So what you do is you take this number and you give it to your accountant to do the quarterly estimate for you. They know how to calculate it. If you don't know, that's going to be part of what I'm going to be teaching in my 12-week course. I will go over how you calculate a quarterly estimate, and then you can also file the payment on irs.gov. All this is the tax stuff is for the USA. For the tax stuff, if you are outside the USA, I have connections with other CPAs in other countries. Right now, I have the Philippines, I have Australia, UK, somebody in Canada. And so if you're listening and you're in Mexico or some other place, let me know so that we can work as a team to help all of you connected with us on here to make your business a Fortune 1 company. I know there's Fortune 100, there's Fortune 5,000, there's Fortune whatever. I want you to make your business a Fortune 1 company. That's your own fortune. You can build your own fortune. All right. So we are all here to help you. I don't know about other CPAs, but I know the people that I'm talking to from Australia and UK and stuff, everybody is on board to help you all understand your numbers and also feel confident. Okay, so you have to go and buy a car. You walk in the dealership feeling confident, knowing all your numbers on what your business is all about. So again, I'm sorry for the interruption, but I'm going to just touch on the LLC and the sole prop do estimates. The S corps, you still have to do estimates if you have an S corp. The reason is that even if you take salary, at the end of the year, there's profit. That profit gets added onto your income in your personal tax return. This is a US. I don't know about the other countries, but In the US, you add the S corporation profit on top of your personal um, income if you took salary. So your wages will go on the 1040, which is a personal tax return, and then the profit from the S corp will be added. So if you need to stay in touch with your CPA so that they can add that profit, the tentative profit that you have, every quarter, do the estimate to make sure that if it's going to show tax owed, you send in that estimate in addition to your wages that you're sending in, so that you don't have any surprises at the end of the year. For those of you who have C corporation, the big corporation thing, that pays its own taxes on his own tax return, the 1120, you still need to do quarterly estimate. So you see, it's important to stay in your numbers, know your numbers, keep up with your books, because if you keep up with the books, you will know the numbers. Those of you who are just starting up, there's another software called Waveapps. It's free to use. If you're just starting up and you don't need any payroll, they have payroll, but it's not robust as QuickBooks is. And so I will say, if you're just starting up, you with no payroll, just you can use Waveapps. It has a lot of features of the same as QuickBooks has. That also, I have recorded all the training on this. And again, with QuickBooks too, I have recorded the training on this. So you don't have to rely on me to learn it. You can go to my website, julianakennedy.cpa.com. All the training recorded there. You can learn at your own pace. If you're interested, just let me know, or you can just look in the comments. The links are going to be there. You can learn on your own. But this one you can use to do invoicing. You can link up your bank here. Same for QuickBooks. You can link up your bank and it will download all the transactions for you. You can link up your credit card and it's free. The only thing they charge is that if you process a credit card, they will charge you about 3%. And then if the person pay by bank, it's like 1%. But if you're just starting up, you can just use it. So there's no reason why you will not have an accounting system. I know people talk about using Excel. Yes, you can, but you will spend more time trying to put formulas here, to flow there, to do this and that. This is a simple way of connecting it, posting it, and then it's generating the profit and loss. The Waveapp can also do the profit and loss for you right here. You can just go to reports. You will see that it's similar to QuickBooks. So you just go here. In Canada, they call it income statement. So that's probably why they have, because this program was designed by Canadians and they've just been sold to H&R Block. So I don't even know if they're going to keep it free for how long they're going to keep it for free. I don't know. But the reason I know Canada call income statement, because I'm also certified in Canada and I'm certified in Kentucky and Illinois. So I think very soon, I think I need to get the international accountant title. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So over here, so you see, you can look at the profit and loss. It tells you the profit. This is the dummy transaction that I'm using here. But this will also show you your net profit. And again, you can use that to do. So please get an accounting system. Take a look at your numbers on a regular basis. Any questions for me? I'm going to pause for a minute because I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you all. So let me know if you have questions, and then I'll be happy to answer. Okay, so no questions. So I take it you all have your books saying, okay, what about if you need to enter your transaction for the past? Beautiful. So you can enter your transactions in the past. Again, in the training, I do cover that. You can go into the register and record all your transactions in both programs. You have the right to go in there and go into the register and enter it. So if you take a look at my training course, you will definitely be able to enter that. all the past transactions in there. Okay, some questions if you have. Hold on, let me see if I can move this out of the way. Let me see. Okay, some questions if you have not done your taxes on time. Okay, so if you haven't done your taxes on time and you filed an extension, so especially for 2018, if you filed an extension, time extension, sales tax. Oh, sales tax doesn't have extension, so they probably will hit you with penalties. All right. So you need to get it in as soon as possible. And also, if you haven't filed, I'll suggest to you, you can go ahead and file and then put a phone call to them. Call and talk to them that you were not aware, if that's the truth, that you were not aware that you were supposed to file sales tax. And then sometimes you can beg for forgiveness, and many times they will have leniency on you and abate, meaning like they will wipe out some of the penalties. So it's better to get on it right away. And then if you need help, Emma, just text me, message me. I can help you get all this to the bottom of it. All right. Because I've seen somewhere the client didn't know that they were supposed to file taxes. So we went back and we filed it. And then we pleaded with them to wipe some of the penalties. Because when you start up, you don't know that you're supposed to do that. So I can help you do that. No problem at all. Any questions? Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be putting all the links in the comments. If you need any of the courses that I talk about, I'll be happy to chat with you any further. All right. Thank you, and make it a great day. You are welcome. You're welcome. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. God bless you all. Mwah.